Hi friends, I am Manoj Kumar. Today we are going to see about magnetically coupled circuits. Come, let's get to the topic. There are some subtopics too we are going to cover. That is introduction to magnetically coupled circuits, mutual inductance, energy consideration, linear transformers and ideal transformers. Introduction to magnetically coupled circuits. Simply we can say that two circuits that are not connected electrically, but that means without being connected with a wire. That is, the circuit having load is affected by the magnetic flux created by the circuit connected to the source, and they were not connected electrically. When two loops with or without contacts between them affect each other through the magnetic field generated by one of them, they are said to be magnetically coupled. Then we see about mutual inductance. When two inductors or coils close to proximity to each other, magnetic flux caused by current in one coil links with the other coil, therefore producing the induced voltage. That means when two inductors are magnetically coupled, that magnetic flux produced by one inductor produce a induced voltage on the other. Mutual inductance is the ability of one inductor to induce a voltage across the neighboring inductor. Let's see an example for this. Look this figure. When there is a current flow in one inductor, the induced voltage on the other coil increases. Thus, the mutual inductance occurs when a changing current in one circuit results via changing magnetic flux in an induced EMF and thus a current in an adjacent circuit. Mutual inductance occurs because some of the magnetic flux produced by one circuit passes through the other circuit. The coil which current is changed is called as primary coil, and the coil in which the EMF is induced is known as a secondary coil. Let's see an example for this circuit with an inductor connected to a voltage source, and there is a current flow and magnetic field is produced around it. So it is known as a primary coil. When the another circuit is kept near to it magnetic field, the EMF is induced on the another circuit and there is a current flow in that circuit. So that is a secondary coil. Then we gonna see about the energy consideration. First of all, we know about energy. That energy in general is known as the capacity to do work. The quantity that is often understood as the ability of physical system to do the work on the other physical system. Since work is defined as a force acting through a distance, a length of space, energy is always equal to the ability to exert pulls or pushes against the basic force of nature along a path of certain length. Then we know about that energy is neither be created nor be destroyed. So energy is converted from one form to another form. So there are different forms of energies. That is solar, wind, geothermal, hydrogen, electrical and mechanical energy and so far. So the energy consideration is a simple is a conservation of energy. We all know that Lenz's law is consistent with the law of conservation of energy. Lenz's law states that when you induce a current in a wire via changing magnetic field, that current flows through the wire in such a direction so that is the magnetic field opposes the change that produces the current. For example, look at this picture. Consider that this PQ as a movable arm and this R as a resistance of the rectangular conductor. So overall resistance of this conductor does not change with the movement of PQ. So the current in a loop is known as I equal to EMF induced in the loop and divided by resistance. So that is equal to B LV by R. The force exerted on the arm PQ due to the magnetic field is given by F equal to I by B. That is equal to B square L square V by R. So the power required to push the arm PQ with the speed V is given by P is equal to B square L square V square by R. So the mechanical energy required to have a to move a arm PQ is converted into electrical energy and little bit loss as a thermal energy. Then we see about linear transformers. It transfers an electrical energy from one circuit to other when there is no electrical connection between the two circuits. Linear transformer and alternating voltage can be raised or lowered, that is step up or step down as per the requirements we need for the different types of electrical equipments, the different stages of electrical network by different stage of electrical network using static device called as linear transformer. Linear transformer properties. The transformer is generally a four terminal device comprising two or more magnetically coupled coils. The transformer is called linear if the coils are wound on a magnetically linear material. For a linear transformer, flux is proportional to the current in the windings. The resistance R1 and R2 are for the account for the losses in the coil. The coils named as primary coil and secondary coil are we seen earlier. Then we see about ideal transformer. An ideal transformer is an imaginary transformer. It has not ever find in this world, maybe in the future, which has no copper losses, no iron losses, no winding resistance, no leakage flux. In other words, the ideal transformer gives output power exactly equal to the input power. That means the ideal transformers having 100% efficiency. Then properties of ideal transformers. An ideal transformer is a lossless device with an input winding and an output winding. It has following properties: no iron or copper losses, no leakage fluxes, a copper of infinite magnetic permeability and of infinite electrical resistivity. Flux is confined to the core and winding resistance are negligible. Look at this picture of ideal transformer. The flux is proportional to the current which is producing it, hence the flux would be in phase with the current. This flux also links the secondary winding through the core of the transformer. As a result, there would be another EMF E2 induced across the secondary winding, and it is mutually induced EMF. Then we see about the difference between linear and ideal transformer. An ideal transformer has only a ratio of primary and secondary voltage. It has no leakage or magnetizing inductance or resistance. The impedance seen at the primary is exactly the impedance on the secondary adjusted by the voltage ratio. A linear transformer has primary and secondary inductance and resistance and magnetizing inductance can have magnetizing resistance too. This model introduces additional impedance between the primary and secondary and has magnetizing dynamics. If the model is linear, it will not include saturation or the frequency dependent loss terms from eddy currents and hysteresis. For example, these non-linear effects are complicated to model and slow simulation down considerably. A linear transformer, the input and output voltage is fixed according to the turn ratio that we need for an electrical equipments. We may step down or step up the voltage using linear transformer. And the ideal transformer, it's the ideal basic component that can give 100% efficiency. The input voltage is equal to also output. So the voltage one port is proportional to the other port. In addition, there is no power loss. One possible distinction is that a linear transformer, while it will not generate any distortion products due to non-linearity, may still have a limited frequency response with practical lower and upper frequency limits. The ideal transformer would have no such limits. So the difference is we can calculate the inductance of the linear and ideal transformer. The principle of mutual inductance states that when two circuits are inductively coupled and if the current in the one coil changes uniformly, then the EMF is induced in the another coil, and in the EMF can drive a current when the closed path is provided to it. The both linear and ideal transformer works in the principle of mutual inductance, but only linear transformer is in the use. The ideal transformer is not possible today. Maybe one day the ideal transformer is achieved by humans for a energy lossless future.